don't you hate when like podcasts just start with people just talking randomly and like there's no welcome or nothing like that?
Absolutely no intro at all. It's kind of just a rude awakening, like cold bucket of water in the morning.
Exactly. Like they just drop you into it, and it's really rude to the listener. Hi everybody, welcome welcome to the Destination podcast. I am here with a very, very funny man, Victor Paredes. Welcome, Victor.
Thank you
for
having me.
Pleasure's all mine.
Yeah, cheers.
Yeah. Right in the mic for that ASMR. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Is that a good sound for you?
Yeah. Obviously, I have to turn the label because I don't want to get sued for not being sponsored by Schmingling, yeah.
Schmingling beer.
Not a sponsor.
Absolutely no relationship to any or
absolutely not. Not the Worshey's quarter.
We're doing a very good job.
I know. People are paying top dollar to sponsor this podcast, so we got to make sure it's really good. If you want to do that, DM me. I need sponsors. I need this.
Roll in the arms of the angel. Right in the eyes of the angel.
For 25 cents a day.
Yeah.
You can have us stop Sarah McLachlan singing Angel. And you can go on about your day as a happy citizen again.
It's more like for 25 cents a day, you can keep a comic's dreams alive. We'll work for that much, I feel like.
I think they'd rather the pausing of Sarah McLachlan than keeping my dream alive, unfortunately. I know my audience. They care more about not crying while seeing the puppies than they do me being able to travel the world and tell jokes and do a day job I don't hate. So anyway, again, glad to have you here. You've been doing stand-up now for, I think you said like 2.5 years.
Correct, 2.5 years. Started right before the pandemic. I remember
So it's your fault.
Yes, absolutely. I think that there is some exact correlation. If I'm going to be honest, I feel like I had COVID back in like 2006. I'm a bit of a hypochondriac, but like I feel like I had those symptoms. Like I lost my sense of smell, and I haven't had it for like, I don't know, I think like 15 years now, and I just haven't. Yeah, no. I think COVID probably originated in Wisconsin, if I'm being honest. But
it's in the cheddar.
It's in the cheese. It's in the cheese, and I'm lactose intolerant, so I don't even care. But I feel like that's probably where COVID originated, because I thought that I had the exact same symptoms of it. And yes, to this day, I still can't really smell. I can enter a room completely nose blind, and like, I don't know, was just decorating the tree with my family recently, and they were like, "Oh, look, it's a live pine tree," and I was just like, "Absolutely! Like, it could be right in front of my face. I still can't smell."
They're like, "Are you kidding? It smells like a New York City cab driver in here," and you're just like, "Oh, I don't know."
Yeah, no. Sometimes advantageous to not smell anything. Like,
I've ripped 3 since we've been sitting down. Yeah,
I have been farting as well. I said that it's the cheese. I'm one of the lactose intolerant individuals that does not care and will just commit to eating cheese. Like, I could not give up cheese at all. Like, Wisconsin was a what's it called, a gateway drug for the cheese addiction.
Yeah,
that is my life right now. So
so needless to say, you tolerate lactose a lot, actually.
I tolerate
mentally you tolerate it.
Yeah, I tolerate my intolerance. And so does
take note, Kanye West. No.
Tolerating that's what we're doing is tolerating intolerance. But yeah, so I tolerate that, and unfortunately, so does my girlfriend. So she has to deal with that as well. But we don't even call farts anymore. We just call them speed boosts, because we were like at that point where like she farts in front of me now, and she knows that because I can't smell, she's like, just gonna be like, I don't even care. And so I feel comfortable. We're both pretty comfortable at that point where it's just letting it rip.
That is true love.
I think it is. I don't think that you know somebody until you fart in front of them. I think that if people, like couples who don't fart in front of each other, they're hiding something. There's something intimate about it. And I just don't trust someone who won't fart in front of me. What are you hiding?
Exactly. No, that's well. All right. I have one really bad experience about that. It was the first and last time I ever did an old 69.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, she let one in my face.
Front or
back?
Oh, okay,
back. But I mean, it's back. My nose was already right there. I mean, that's just point blank. That's
no. That's called a headshot for sure.
Yeah, it was a shotgun. It was a widespread.
Oh, was it just a fart or was it like?
It was just a fart.
Okay,
yeah.
All right, because that could have been really unfortunate.
Yeah. But yeah. So like I said, I still got my PTSD from that. I've still not gone back, despite the fact that I keep my house set at 69 because I'm still a middle schooler at heart, and I'm pretty sure that's what 7th grade Destin would have wanted for me as a homeowner, was to keep my house set at 69 at all times.
No. I think that's like when you're an adult, you get to live all the dreams that, I mean, you want to. You said you're a homeowner. This is fantastic. Set it to 69.
Oh yeah,
all the time. If there was a way to set your thermostat to boobs, I would do it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's like, man, I'm sweating my tits off in here. It's like, exactly. That's the goal.
No, oh my goodness. It's
I think it was Mother Teresa who said, "Home is where the bra comes off." So
home is where the bra. I love how when women are like saying they're like, oh, you don't understand. It's just the best part of my day for the bra to come off. It's fantastic, I think, for a bra to come off. It's my favorite part of the day too.
We get a lot of enjoyment out of it ourselves.
I'm quite a fan.
No.
Of the burn the bra movement, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, but I obviously, because they're literally getting actual like tension released. We just get to see boobs, which is always great.
Yeah. The only time where I do support bras is in my own case, because like after chest day, like I will have so much pain in my chest that like I will just want to wear a bra, because like I will go down the stairs and I'm just wearing a little baggy, but it's a little chesty for me, and so it like hurts bouncing down the stairs for me. Yeah. I don't know if you've had like similar experience where like if it's tender.
Yes,
it's tender.
I really miss being able to go really hard on chest day. I actually really messed up my left wrist doing bench press one time. So unfortunately, like I have to really watch any kind of press. So I mean, you over the head shoulder press, bench press, any dips, just anything that is a pushing movement. Even though I usually do a push pull myself. And I'm way just more into the pulling. Like I love rows. I love, chin ups. I love pull downs. I love face pulls to get the back shoulder there.
Do you know what ones like I'm really a fan of? I'm a fan of all the workouts that I see like the influencers doing to just get like a bigger butt. Like I'm determined at that point.
Yeah.
I think my goal for like my own body positivity goals are that like I just want to have like an ass that people pray to. Like it's that good.
Yeah.
And so I do some now leg days, because for years I was just skipping leg days. Like I think like freshman year of college, I was just like top heavy. I was top heavy because of skipping leg day.
I mean, you didn't even need to say you were a freshman in college. When we said you were skipping leg day, I'm like, this probably took place freshman year.
Yeah, no. When like it makes
I can't do leg day because dubstep, bro. Like
dubstep. I was introduced to all the bad things. Yeah. Dubstep, pre-workout. That was crack light. It's like crack light. It's
I was saying,
tell me.
Yeah, it's Kool-Aid and bath salts.
Accurate. accurate.
As somebody that
depiction
has like 3 over there.
bath salts.
No,
Or
pre-workouts.
Pre-workouts. Okay, I was about to say, wow, dude.
Yeah.
I feel like, you know, you're a very generous host. You were sharing your whiskey, your food, but I was like, you know what? You were hoarding the bath salts.
I gotta draw the line at the bath salts.
Okay. All right. Well,
I gotta save those for when I need to go primal at the gym.
Sharing is caring. All right.
But yeah, no, yeah, I hate I also because like by day I walk 9 miles every day for 5 days a week.
Yeah.
So like every day of my life is already kind of leg day.
Yeah.
So then obviously to do squats, to do like weighted lunges, to do deadlifts on top. I mean, if I do anything, I do deadlifts. So
yeah,
I do deadlifts.
I'm resisting the urge right now to like look under the table and just like admire what are probably chiseled calves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And even in these jeans, I mean, they're all of my jeans, they're so loose and baggy in the thigh and waist area.
Okay.
And then they like I could just let them sag and they would get stopped right at the calves.
The calves are where you get caught.
They are magnificent. They're the only good thing on my body.
That's unfortunate.
Yes. Yeah.
I wish I had calves. It looks like I feel confident that if I was to shave my legs, I would have some very sexy legs because they're not like, you know, super chiseled.
Yeah.
They're just, I think, what would probably be feminine looking legs if you took away the hair. I mean, it is 2022, so
yeah.
Maybe you don't even need to take away the hair. So
yeah. I was gonna say, I mean, I've dated women with hairier pits than me, so
that'd be something.
Because
like my hair kind of just goes straight out. It looks like I'm evolving to be able to fly. Like my armpit hair just goes straight. I don't know if yours curls, but the armpit hair that I have is just like absolutely straight.
Yeah,
like little rays of sunshine that you draw on, you know.
Yeah, like they blow majestically in the wind, like it's a music video.
They do. They have their own consciousness almost.
Right.
Did you have like a very unfortunate time with puberty?
Yeah.
I mean, you seem like you've got like this magnificent beard. I don't know if you were like one of the earlier people to go through puberty as well.
Yeah. So like, I mean, I started getting like chest and belly hair when I was like, I think right after I turned 11. So pretty early, because most didn't even start till they were like 13.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I started growing hair everywhere when I was 11. But the facial hair didn't really start coming in until I was at least like 19. That's when it started coming in like full.
Yeah.
And then aging like milk over here. I got the patch of death on the back of the head when I was 22.
Oh no.
Yeah, hence the hat.
Okay.
I mean, anyone that's watching this, they know. I mean, I'm not fooling anybody, but
baseball caps are in. They're a thing though.
They are.
It doesn't have to be your entire personality.
No.
You can do beanies. There's a multitude of hats that are accessible.
Yeah. I do the backwards hat mostly because I want to make sure that people know that I'm not approachable. Don't talk to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you want to look more like a delinquent.
Exactly.
I was about to ask, have you ever thought about converting to being like a Sikh? Like, you know, having like a turban on full time? It would be, you know, a solution. I don't know where I was going to go with that, but like, I mean, just like it would be one option that just came to me.
Yeah.
And I just really wanted to grasp upon.
So I remember telling my mom one day, you know, that it was, I noticed it was already starting to get a little worse. And this was also right at the height of man bun mania.
Oh,
a very dark time. And
were you going to top knot?
My mom said you should try. My mom said she is like, I was like, I would rather like, I don't know. I would just rather shave my head bald than try to do the top knot thing. No offense to anybody that does wear a top knot, but you are what's wrong with the world. But
it's
but
a
like,
lot
but
to
like no offense.
I mean, like they could be the starting domino for what's wrong with the world.
Exactly.
I feel like
it's a slippery slope.
It's a slippery slope from what was Top Knot. I do recall that the last time I remember seeing Top Knots as being like a viable hair option, a lot of shit was going down. I mean, like that. I think that was like 2016, wasn't it? So we had just gotten like fresh off of like Obama, and then we were just like streamlining Fox and Friends, and you know, in the White House, and so that was a little bit.
Yeah. It was a necessary response to all the bad that was going on. It was like new metal in the late 90s, you know, like it had to happen because of everything else that was going down. That was when we started getting, you know, the really like the heavily synthesized boy band pop stars. So like naturally we had to have a white guy from Jacksonville doing it all for the nookie. We had to have white guys with dreads to balance.
To have
everything's balanced as it should be. Thanos.
You could just like snap away all of that just in general. That would be also very convenient.
Yeah.
But goodness. Oh God, I love you started me an ADHD individual on like a Marvel just like rabbit hole. As soon as you said Thanos, I'm just like, see, it's
who could we have snapped away? Like Fred Durst could have went.
Oh, we're death noting Thanos now. We're doing like the
if we do it, we'll get a Kickstarter going that we'll have a fan made written Thanos Death Note crossover series.
Okay. Yeah.
So we're currently doing a verbal Death Note right now. So we'll put Fred Durst in there. We could put Epstein in there. That would save a lot of people. If we did it at the timeline of the late 90s, that'd be saving a whole lot of people some trauma.
It proactively solving crime. Yeah, I suppose it's like the baby Hitler theory, you know.
Yeah.
Do it beforehand or not. Always a little bit tricky. Because at what point do you kill Jeffrey Epstein? I guess. And then like if you kill Jeffrey Epstein, is it affecting like all the other timelines? And then like, you know, does what's it called? That one.
Is Butterfly Effect?
It's the Butterfly Effect, but what's the one movie with Matt Damon and Robin Williams?
Good Will Hunting.
Yeah, Good Will Hunting does get made. I think I think like Epstein was actually responsible for that.
Yeah,
and so
that's why I didn't say Weinstein, because unfortunately there was a lot of good shit made from Weinstein. Yeah.
You're right.
Okay. Epstein can go then. Yeah, Epstein can go. Weinstein we need for Scream. We need for a couple of Kevin Smith movies.
I was just talking about the Kevin Spacey movies as well being made.
Yeah. Oh, Seven. Fucking great movie.
Yeah. It is. I say what's in the box far too often. I think I speak mainly, if I'm being honest, in movie quotes, and people just don't realize how often that happens. I mean, like sometimes they are very vague, and sometimes it fits the situation. Other times it absolutely won't. But a lot of times it'll just be like a vague movie quote. Won't even be like a very quotable scene. It'll just be something that a character has said. And characters say stuff all the time in movies, so it's like, I can say whatever I want.
Oh no, I agree. I mean, like even before memes were a thing. I mean, I have so many long-lasting friendships that are largely based on like Chappelle Show quotes, Tropic Thunder, Dodgeball.
Tropic Thunder, oh my god,
one of the best comedies of all time.
Absolutely one of the best comedies of all times. Could not be made ever again.
Oh no.
So in this, I can't even believe that like it got through the first time.
Oh yeah. Even in 2008 it got a lot of pushback.
You know what's crazy? Okay, so here's a story about you remember the Robert Downey Jr. character who is a white man playing a character who dresses
a dude disguised as a dude disguised as another dude.
Yeah. Okay, so that brings me back to this memory about like high school where I was like in plays, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I did musical. I was a theater kid, which I think makes sense for my eventual need to have people's attention to do comedy enough, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're able to find the source of that. But I remember one particular event that I didn't realize was absolutely racist until like years later on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was we were doing the West Side Story, and I am in a school that school district that there's like a joke, right? The school district has a joke that the only people of color live on the water tower, and that's because on the water tower that there is in our community, there's like silhouetted people doing activities, and the silhouettes are black. And so that's the joke, is that the only people of color that live in our community live on the water tower. And so, and so I went to that school, and it was true. Like I had no idea how we were gonna do, West Side Story with me being the whole entire Latino population. Which I mean, I was one of two. That's not fair to say. Yeah. There was me, another guy, Nate Dobbs. I wonder what he's doing right now. I want to look him up, and I want to ask him if he remembers this as well. Because we both, I remember this was very impactful for my young brain for two reasons. I lost out to this one guy. He got the main Latino role, and he was Chinese, and so that was a little bit frustrating.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not gonna lie. I feel like they had two options for two characters. I feel like we both could have done that, but you know what? It's fine.
Yeah. All right. Now we're going down a High School Musical theater rabbit hole here too. So I also come from a background of theater before stand-up. Mm-hmm. Also, I'm an adopted only child, so that adds even more to the need for attention. But the theater helps to nurture it too. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
So once again, Newark is a very similar diversity background from what you were explaining. So I mean, we did on my senior year, we did Willy Wonka as a musical.
Okay.
And I was cast as Mr. Salt. The guy that has the nut factory, his daughter Veruca is the spoiled rat.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So my daughter was the last name of Lopez, and there's me, Vanilla McPasty, and then we had a nut. Well, okay. Well, actually, he was Japanese as well.
Okay.
But in that case, it is like, hey, you could have the path of least resistance there. Instead of just explaining that I have a Latina daughter that is, by the way, very dark toned too. Not even like very on the light side. I mean, she's like on the darker.
Okay.
Yeah.
Una morena. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And then there's me. Looking like Fat Ryan Reynolds there.
Fat
Ryan. But I'm talking like Just Friends Ryan Reynolds too, like Big
Shannon. Yeah. Oh yeah, where he put on the fat suit and he was trying to have sex with something smart. I forget her name. Amy Smart. Yeah. My God, she was my like one of my first crushes because I think that was like the very do you remember your very first pair of boobs that you saw in a movie or TV? I think that was it from Road Trip. That was the.
Oh yeah, and then that's full.
Yeah.
Full
that was just a ridiculously inappropriate movie that I was so glad that I was able to stay awake enough to watch as a child.
Right.
And my parents had no knowledge of.
I didn't even need full boob either. I just remember my first time seeing nipple to a shirt.
Oh,
and that was also my first movie crush, which was Kirsten Dunst in the first Spider-Man movie. It's Mary Jane.
Oh, right.
The scene right before the upside down kiss, when it's pouring down rain.
I mean, It had to be
and
cold, yeah.
It had to be real cold. I mean, it's New York City. It's always cold and rainy. It's the
especially when you're getting mugged.
It's the real world Gotham.
Yeah,
and just that nipple that could cut glass peeking through that light lilac top she was wearing. That did it for me, even as an 8-year-old.
Yeah,
and gave me lifelong scarlet fever that I've still not cured.
Ginger girls.
Yeah,
that's a thing for sure.
Yeah.
Ginger girls are very pretty.
Oh yeah.
I remember the last ginger girl that I dated. She actually had a thing. She had like a reverse scar. Instead of having a scarlet fever, right? Mm-hmm. She had a thing for Latinos, and so I was just like, this is fine with me. I mean, like, very pretty girl, but I was just like, I feel like just slightly like I was being kind of groomed. Does that make sense?
Maybe, yeah.
Like a life partner? No, she was looking for a Latino, 100%.
Yeah,
and so I was like, all right. I mean, Scarlet Fever though. Okay, so you watched just Black Widow, standalone film, and you liked that one? Was it enough Scarlet Fever?
Actually, no, even the Scarlet Fever couldn't make me realize how generic of a movie that was.
Yeah, it was a very, very...
It was Captain America Winter Soldier, just with Black Widow. It was quite the rehashing of it. I actually even made a joke about it in the Avengers Rush of Thanos. Because, I mean, the villain is not even technically really a villain. It's so much a organization.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you have Dreykov and the other Black Widows.
Yeah.
With the Red Room. You have a mute cybernetic character, like cyborg character, who has a previous attachment to the protagonist. So, Bucky Barnes, and then you had the Taskmaster that ended up being Dreykov's daughter. Oh, and I mean, I can keep going, but I'm glad you already caught on that they just reskinned.
They did, but here's what's up: is that the antagonist was not even as good as in the Winter Soldier. It was just a generic, like, misogynistic, evil villain. Yeah. He was evil for the sake of being evil and hating women.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, punch a baby evil for no reason.
Exactly. Yeah. And
the other one at least made sense, where it was like, like, where does security and privacy and freedom and like the ruling? There was that greater theme, which is kind of a cool, thing to delve into, but it's the
and that one hit right, and that one hit kind of right when we realized just how technologically advanced the government was getting.
Yeah, that was during Snowden, wasn't it?
Yes, exactly. Right after WikiLeaks I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty sure they wrote that script as soon as WikiLeaks happened. I'm like, hey, we could turn this.
Oh, it's great timing. No. What's absolutely excellent that the Marvel Cinematic Universe does in comparison to DC is that they have where it is not just a completely, I guess, alternate reality. What Marvel does so well is that it draws so many similarities to our perceived universe. Yeah, and so that's what's so cool and lifelike about it, and that the similarities that it draws from real world events where a megalomaniac, egotistical individual with a lot of money can do a lot of damage.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, that's the thing. Even just going back to the comics, I mean, Marvel has actually always they're not as big on their own created locations like Gotham, Metropolis, Star City. Like a lot of Marvel stories take place in New York City. They'll take place in California. Yeah, there's not a lot of really made up locations. Like there's Wakanda.
Yeah, there's the new Telecon.
Yeah.
For Black Panther, which is excellent.
I was a big fan.
Oh my god, it was so good. I loved every little bit of it. The winged feet were the coolest bit of it, and
embracing the elf ears too.
Embracing the elf ears for sure. So it resonates with the character resonates for so many reasons. The elf ears, I wanted to be an elf. Like as a kid, that was my number one profession. honestly, like my parents think that I wanted to be a Jedi. 100% did, sure.
Yeah.
But I also wanted to work in the North Pole. I was like 100% like down with like wanting to work for Santa.
When you said elf, I thought you meant like get a bow and arrow. You just wanted to be legless.
No.
Okay.
I mean, like I'm 5'9", so I'm just short of not being. I'm just tall enough to not be that short.
Right.
Elf height.
Mm-hmm.
For most women.
So size queens though, they'll let you know when you're not.
I don't know if that's what size queen means.
I know. I'm glad
because I'm packing. No,
yeah.
I don't like. No, 5'9", but
sweets and toys for all the good little girls.
Not proportional. No. No, I wanted to be Santa's like head elf, like whoever like ran the factories and stuff like that, or prepared the list, because you know what, I was a very vindictive child and he needed to cross off some names.
Absolutely.
I was like, this person's acting shady. I was a teacher's pet, so
yeah. So are you talking like like certain members of the naughty list that you like wanted to make sure were off the list for good?
I also wanted them to get maybe potentially traumatizing toys, like
nice.
the toys, the toys from like the Toy Story that like those weird ones that would just like come to life.
In Sid's room. Yeah. Like the baby head with like the mechanized spider legs.
I realized that there's a lot of stuff that can motivate people, right?
Mm-hmm.
But vengeance is also a very viable option.
Oh yeah,
it's helped me achieve a lot of goals and dreams.
Very few successful people got by on hopes and dreams and support.
Just alone, I would say exactly. I have hopes. I mean, like I have my own hopes and dreams and a great support system, which I feel very unworthy of. Mm-hmm. But for sure, vengeance is like
prove everyone wrong.
I mean, look what it did to Batman.
Yeah.
Batman is Batman because of the stuff that made him Batman, and vengeance is definitely like you can't spell Batman without I am vengeance.
Exactly.
I think that's the catchphrase. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh no, it was Shazam. Never mind. Shazam. But so back to I didn't have when I was a kid. I mean, I wanted to be a comic. So I mean,
you wanted to be a comic day, like that was the first thing.
Yeah, like the moment I was born, I said my first words immediately. I didn't cry. I was just like, man, could someone open up a window in there? It's hot and stuffy as balls.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
you could use the like umbilical cord as like a mic.
Yeah,
cord. You were looking for a microphone.
Yeah, I came out there. I was like trying to drop it, like it's like the dick hitting the floor.
Yeah,
that old original comedy chestnut. Yeah, I actually had the discussion with previous guests. This one was after we had stopped recording now, about when I was born. I was 10 pounds and 14 ounces when I was born. Yeah.
Wow.
Big ass baby.
That's it's like a turkey. So you can get.
Yeah, exactly.
Impressive.
And I was just as dry as one too. Yeah.
Just as dry.
Yeah, I walked out. I did like the dog shake thing. I got all the mucus off me and all that.
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. I think that's honestly.
I know it's not mucus, by the way, women. I know.
Babies are disgusting when they come out first, right? They look like they're wrapped in like raw chicken.
Yes. Yeah, I would say like it's kind of like in the first the Lord of the Rings movie when the Uruk-hai are being born. And like they rip open rip open the sacks.
That's the best example of how
you see those like
the moving head. That's kind of what it looks like across like a pregnant woman's belly. If we're being honest, at like 9 months, and you're just like, oh my god, you just don't even want to give like a hug.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because like you're afraid it's gonna be contagious by that point. Like everything's so active there, but it's just gonna like seahorse its way into you. Oh
my god, I never had that fear until now. Holy Holy shit! Seahorsing a pregnancy. That would be. Where do you think it would come out? Your belly button, if you're lucky, right? The same way that it got in.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's how it happens for a seahorse.
It'd be really bad if it was like an alien thing where it came through your chest.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah, you want to talk about being sore? Fuck that chest day you were talking about.
Oh my god. Yeah, no, that seems like, you know what, I regret complaining about any training bra I've ever had. Oh, I felt like I needed them before for sure.
Yeah.
Just because of chest days, like where it's just, like, it's so unfortunate. But yeah, oh my god, no pregnancy. There would be no pregnancy if males had to do that.
No.
Awful.
We couldn't give up drinking. We couldn't go through half the shit. We're not mentally. I don't think we're prepared for that.
I think I could definitely give up drinking for it, but it's like the absolute pain of like being maybe possibly torn open.
Mm-hmm.
That just is horrifying.
Oh
like,
yeah.
I was both my sister and I, we were both C-sections for my mom, I guess, and she like still to this day guilt trips the hell out of us because of it. Mm-hmm. She's just like, hey, do you want to see the scar?
Yeah.
She's like, they cut my abdominal wall, and I was like, I can't even complain anymore. If I'm being honest, I feel like shit.
I mean, hell, I was pushed out normally, and I was 10 pounds, 14 ounces. I mean, that's
10 pounds, 14 ounces. I'm writing that down. 10 pounds. I want to.
That's gonna be the title of my first special. But
I want to, because I want to say that like I was like 6 pounds, 2 ounces.
Most are.
I was a little
like 5
baby.
and 8. Most are between 5 and 8.
And you know what? I looked incredibly Asian. I'm part Japanese, so I'm a great mixture of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely looked like a little Japanese baby when I was born, and so it's, I don't know. It was questionable when I was like brought into the delivery room. I mean, after reports and everything. Because they're like, you want to see the baby? And it was the hairiest Asian you've ever seen. That's what I looked like.
Yeah.
I didn't have a forehead, I was told.
Yeah. Just
like
it stopped at the brows. Stopped at the brows.
If anything, the eyebrows that I had were skin. It was reverse. That's what my eyebrows were. It was the little line where I didn't have hair. And I was just one of the original Wolfman.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I look at it myself. I don't know how like some people are like, oh, that's such a pretty baby. I want to such an ugly baby.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I mean I was like as red as the flowers on my shirt when I came out, and I was blonde. I mean, I almost looked like when I was born, I almost looked like a bobblehead of Rush Limbaugh.
Very specific.
Yeah, I was gonna say Trump, but I mean even then he would still been very orange.
Yeah,
but
So did you have like small hands or?
Yeah.
Okay.
The smallest hands. No one's hands were ever smaller than mine. People wish their hands were as small as mine. No one beats small hands. Raccoons are jealous of how small
your hands are.
No, and then and I mean I was very telly, very had a lot of folds, and then my hair eventually then went like pitch black for a couple months, and then it went into like brown. Like all of a sudden it was like I was like Tonks from Harry Potter. Like my hair just changed on my mood. And then I had a big old thick head of hair all the way up until again I was 22 and started slowly falling out. And then over 2020, when the gyms opened up and they were like the only thing we could do, that's when I really started actively lifting. Like I would go maybe once a week. Yeah. But I would half-ass it the whole time I was there.
Yeah.
So 2020 is when I actually really started like keeping notes, like actively doing like a good like split here and there, really trying to focus on it. But I lost 60 pounds over COVID.
Nice. Wow.
And I remember the day that I hit my because I was 250 when COVID started, and when I hit 190.
Nice.
I remember running. I wanted to go tell my parents in person.
Yeah.
Because this is big. I actually set a goal. I accomplished it. I go up the steps of my house, and I'm like just squaring up, ready to tell them the good news. And the first thing, my mom beats me to it, and my mom says, honey, I don't know how to tell you this, but do you know you're starting to lose in the front too?
Oh man.
Exactly.
So the day that you're like feeling most proud and you're just like pumped up,
taking the wind out of my sails.
Yeah. No, I have such bad like fear of losing my hair, and I feel like it's starting to change for sure. Like I wake up in the middle of the night and like I can hear my hairline whispering to me, and I'm just like, oh no. Sorry. Please come on.
I was like, I can't take it anymore, Victor.
It's like,
you never appreciated me.
Adios. Yeah. Hairline. I wish you could trade the hair that you don't want, where you could just, transplanting ass hair.
Yeah, ass and back.
I would have such a cool mustache. I would have a fucking fantastic beard with my ass hair. Oh my God. So much. Why didn't they tell me? Like, I thought puberty was going to be awesome, right? Because the first thing that happened to me for puberty is I started getting like kind of facial hair, like a little thin mustache. And I was like, cool, I'm going to be able to grow facial hair. And my hands and feet got really big. And puberty just gave me like lower back hair and ass hair and a deeper voice, like overnight, almost like it was kind of frightening. Yeah. I remember to my mom and to myself, and the only time like I remember like my voice then would go back to its original form would be when I would swear, which was a lot. Like I would just be like, hey guys, what the fuck is up? And it was a little bit weird, but God, puberty. What an awful traumatic time. Wish you could just sleep through it, like.
Right. I'll say, I had so much ass hair that I have like a literal medical condition because of it. Oh, really? It was called, and I got it my junior year in high school. So I was.
Is it the 16? One where it's really hard to wipe with toilet paper?
No. It's called a plionatal cyst. So it's on the tailbone, and what happens is it's like hairs that grow across like the top of the crack. They actually will grow together and they'll merge, and then that will open up pores that can get infected with bacteria. So that's what happened. Wow. Is I had so much hair that was actually like turning itself into cornrows on the top of my ass crack.
Oh my God.
That I had pores that got infected, and they had this big, huge cyst that formed at the base of my tailbone. And so I had to go to a colon doctor, and he had to put me up in the stirrups, which is a very humbling experience. So he, and they barely numbed me, but like they just sliced me open right there at the top. And they drained it, and the smell, by the way.
Oh no!
Oh Lord, it was foul. I would say it smelled like if you mixed sauerkraut and sour cream, and then just like left it like open in a basement for like a summer.
Oh, that's so bad. I'm just, like I said, I'm so glad I don't have like a good sense of smell. But all I can think about, like when you said that your like ass hair had cornrows, was like what if it like would like have like a personality of its own? It was like a Rastafarian, or it was just like one of those like just a white dude that just had cornrows.
Yeah.
Instead, it would just be its obvious original ethnicity of the owner.
Yeah.
And so it would just be
James Franco and Spring Breakers, basically.
Oh fuck yeah. Oh, I don't know. There's so many.
Spring Break for that.
I didn't see that one, but like I saw the marketing for it. Yeah, and I was just like, oh, this looks like it'd be like a funny movie that like I would go watch?
It wasn't.
It wasn't.
No. It was actually this weird crime thriller, almost kind of movie. Eventually, yeah. It was like this group of really hot girls went down for spring break, and they got involved with Franco's character, who was a pimp, and they very slowly but surely realized that they were becoming like his like prostitutes, and like they were like doing like making deals and like turning tricks for him, and then it was just basically how can they escape this situation.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a really weird movie. So back to my ass.
Back to the ass and how bad it smelled.
Yeah, well, okay, I'll drop that one. But anyway, so like I said, this is junior in high school, and so to this day, my ass crack is all fucked up. Like I can never do porn now because I have a visually unappealing bare ass now. Because it's like really puffy where it healed up.
Oh,
right at the top. I know.
Does it look kind of like a tail?
Almost actually.
Almost.
But so when Avatar 3 comes around, all they gotta do is just paint me blue. I'm gold. James Cameron looking at you.
He's tall enough.
Yeah.
Like, we're both sitting down right now, and it looks like it's fine. But he's a tall guy. We don't need to stand up. We don't need to. Don't you fucking stand up.
I'm not standing up until people pay me into the mic in my hand. So. But no. So then I had to go back to school like the next couple of weeks, and I had the hemorrhoid donut, and I had like a pillow. Oh. And you know how understanding and kind public school children are, right?
No, absolutely not. I think we had a very different upbringing.
So no, I was already being made fun of for being gay in high school, and that really sealed the deal. So that's where butt boy came from.
Oh yeah, no, it was God. And you had a donut pillow because you had to ice your butt. Oh my God.
Yeah. Oh, and like it was like, oh, butt boy finally went black. Ha 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 ha.
Oh, that's super. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
That as a comic, you realize there's just a plethora of jokes. It's a gold mine.
Oh yeah.
Really, it is.
Oh yeah.
Have you talked about this on stage?
Not this particular one. I talk about being bullied in high school. I just didn't bring up that particular instance.
That is gotta be that's a fantastic punchline for sure. You should talk about that, about like how like just growing up and then like being gay before it was cool, and then needing to have to use an ice pack on your butt in high school. Oh. Yep.
That's why we're here today.
To work out those issues.
To work out those issues, yeah. Because I would say, like all men in comedy, why would I go to therapist when I can just start a podcast?
It's true. I want to desperately avoid my issues, so I'm going to start a podcast.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's the way to go.
Oh, genius. It really is genius.
But now I can't remember the jumping off point of hairy asses, but going bald. I'm actually come, despite the fact I'm wearing a hat indoors, I've come to terms with it. I mean, I'll probably start shaving it off in 2 years, maybe. I'll get one
Walter White.
Yeah, go 1 year into my 30s, because like me doing it when I turn 30. That in itself, that's like I'm so afraid of the 30s that like I don't want to even try to like protect. No, I give 30s one more year of youth, and then I'll go.
At 31, then you'll make that change.
Yeah, 31's where I'm pretty sure I'm gonna start.
Okay.
Or by then or in those next 2 years, stand up does so well and I make so much money that I can buy really, really good hair implants.
Yeah, the Turkish hairlines. Yeah.
So in 2 years I'm either gonna be Walter White bald or I'm gonna have luscious hair,
just a mane.
Yes, exactly.
And then that'll be what
I'll look like I'm doing Dolce & Gabbana ads. Like
I think that'd be really interesting to have. You start off with Dolce & Gabbana, and then it focuses in on your hair, and then it could just be like a Head and Shoulders shampoo commercial, or Old Spice, and no, Old Spice for sure. Old Spice has the best commercials.
They
man.
do. They really do.
Oh my god.
Speaking of Old Spice commercials, have you seen Dion Cole's new special?
Dion Cole? No.
It's good. It's on Netflix. Give it a watch.
I'm gonna write that down, but
it's called Charlene's Boy. It's actually good. It starts and ends as a really good tribute to his mother. Kind of like how Black Panther: Wakanda Forever started and ended as an amazing tribute to Chadwick.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Do you remember where you were at when Chadwick Boseman died? Do you remember hearing about that news?
I mean, unfortunately, it's a lame answer. And at any time in the last 9 years, I was delivering mail.
Oh.
And I just opened up my phone and I saw it. But I will admit, it was one of the few times I saw that, and it genuinely wrecked me.
Yeah, no, for sure. Go. Sorry.
Oh yeah, because I mean, one of the first MCU. I wasn't on board with the MCU from the get go. Mm-hmm. That was one of my big quarantine things, was watching the entirety of the MCU up until that point.
Right. Excellent.
But I did go to the theaters to see Black Panther. And admittedly, mostly just because I was like, if Kendrick's doing the soundtrack, I'm like, that sounds great.
Which it was fantastic.
Yeah,
fantastic.
But yeah, I remember watching that first Black Panther, and already I'm like, man, this dude's awesome. And then I go back and then I watch Civil War, and like he himself had a great movie in Civil War.
Oh yeah, no, his character was like very well introduced, developed. He had his own drive. There was a very elaborate back history that they introduced for the character in just that one movie.
Yeah.
So,
and really, I of all the times that superhero movies have, I almost don't want to say backdoored a future hero's backstory into an already existing one, but that one was probably the best.
Yeah, because I don't feel like. I'm glad that they didn't do the whole Spider-Man reintroduction of making like Uncle Ben have to die.
Yeah,
again.
I agree.
But yeah, I felt like Chadwick Boseman's Black Panther definitely had like a easier segue into the already existing Marvel universe.
Yeah.
Basically, as well as like, him and Winter Soldier. They were both great.
Yeah.
But of course, it was a Captain America movie. So.
Oh yeah. And like, I mean, of all the ones I'll go back and rewatch it, like Winter Soldier, the first Guardians too. That was another one that I watched in theaters. And again, I mean, that was Guardians. Like that was such a cool. I mean, first off, the fact that those two are back to back. So that's where I'll say the MCU really hit its stride. Was those two movies in Phase 2? Was Guardians and Winter Soldier.
Oh, okay.
And so, I mean, Guardians was such a risk. I mean, even like everybody involved was already like, this. Nobody knows these characters. It's not going to do well.
No.
Gamora, before Zoe Saldana was cast, James Gunn originally wanted Amanda Seyfried.
Oh, that would have been a mistake.
I mean, exactly. Now, knowing what we know, Zoe did fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, and the response Amanda gave was, "This movie's stupid. You're telling me two of the main characters are a talking tree and a talking raccoon?" And it's like, and it's comic
Zero vision. Yeah.
I can't blame her. I can't.
I mean, like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, when I heard the Guardians of the Galaxy was coming out, I was very surprised because you're right. They're not the most popular characters. Yeah. I mean, there were so many other routes that they could have gone down, but they threw together such a great band of like characters. The soundtrack was phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, everything about it.
James Gunn just did a fantastic job with what he was given. And ironically, considering that raccoons are one of my favorite animals, my favorite Guardian is Drax. I love his dry humor. Batista kills it the whole time.
Bro, okay, I was just like, dude, I had such a brain fart. I know who Drax is. Yeah. He is good. I'm definitely a Drax-like individual because I can't understand sarcasm, metaphors that well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I can understand metaphors. I can't understand when someone's being sarcastic with me or someone's joking with me. I thought maybe for like the first 3 months that my girlfriend just did not like me much. I mean, she was just so sarcastic, and now I mean it's better.
Yeah,
I understand it. I'm able to joke more, but I was very confused at first. I was like,
I mean, just right off the bat, the one where he was, where Rocket even said, his people don't understand, or it's like his people don't catch, or metaphors go over his head.
Oh, yeah.
And he was like, nothing goes over my head. My reflexes are too fast. I would catch it.
Yes. Yeah. Oh my God.
And of course, there's the where's Gamora? I'll give you one better. Here's Gamora. I'll do you one better. Why is Gamora?
Oh my God.
Yeah, English teachers got their wings with that joke.
I love that scene. I think I watched all of Infinity Wars like back to back, coming back from like a flight. Like I was in Europe and I went and watched Saving Private Ryan and then Infinity Wars. And I mean, I watched all of it because it was such a long flight. But
yeah,
I mean,
my trip I just made to the Dominican Republic, the flight back. So I flew from Punta Cana to Baltimore, and then I had a 4-hour layover in Baltimore, which is a great city to have 4 hours of doing nothing in. It's like I've seen The Wire. I don't need to see any more Baltimore. Like,
oh yeah.
But the flight from Punta Cana to the Dominican Republic, it clocked in at 3 hours on the dot, and I paid the $8 to use the plane's Wi-Fi, and I got on. Like I looked at their movies, and at 2 hours and 56 minutes, I saw the new Batman movie. So I'm like, this is gonna time out perfectly.
Yeah.
And that flight went by like a breeze.
Oh my God, the new Batman was great too.
Yeah,
I keep talking comic books all this time, but flights are scary. Have you ever been in first class?
No, not officially. Not like where I paid a ticket. It's more like I just it was on an Allegiant flight where I was in like the front row, but it doesn't count when you say it's Allegiant.
I don't know Allegiant all that well.
It's like a discount airline. It's like
Spirit. Okay, like Spirit. Spirit-esque. Okay.
Yeah. Allegiant only goes from like they're mostly to Florida, and then they'll cover basically just the eastern side. I don't think they even go like west of Chicago.
Yeah, I rode on my very first class flight, and it was fantastic. I mean, they gave me multiple drinks. They had all that room that's right next to you. I mean, that you have like, on either side. The person who was next to me I remember on the flight, she was freaking out too because she had her seat upgraded. And so we were just both these, people who are pretty cheap normally. Yeah. Just freaking out because we had never been in first class.
Right.
And the private bathroom and the drinks and then the towels and then the night mask and blanket and
the towels sound awesome.
Oh my God, I got a lap dance in first class. They don't tell you that you get actual lap dances. That's a private thing. That's why they have a curtain.
Right.
The pole comes through the middle.
Yeah.
And
in the bathroom, the counter is actually a mirror so that you can do a line of coke off of it.
Yeah. Do you know what's actually the best thing about being in first class is that you get to board the plane first and then watch all the poor people walk in the back.
Yeah.
It's its own form of segregation for sure.
Yeah. This is the greatest argument for me spending the extra money and getting first class.
Do it.
Because man, do I love watching poor people suffer. It's
That's why you like to deliver mail. You're like, overdue on your bills, I see. Damn.
Like, oh wow, your mail's coming with red labels. I think they're angry with you.
Yeah. You're like, this looks important.
Yeah.
You should get to that.
Yeah. I say that hell, my mail comes in red sometimes. I mean, I actually do my own. Like this neighborhood, I do it.
Oh,
yeah.
You get to. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is really cool. Like, I mean, when nature calls, I have a bathroom and I don't have to worry about like ruining someone else's day as to go in after. I eat fairly healthy here. Like, I'll just like pop in like a lean cuisine into the microwave or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay,
nice.
Yeah, it's a good gig. It's a gig I can't wait to not do anymore. But I mean,
what do you want to do instead? You said
stand up.
Stand up. Yeah.
But I mean, not just purely stand up. I don't like. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it's something I'm passionate about. But I also want to like do like small like supporting roles in like movies and stuff, and like make some music too. Just all forms of entertainment. Really, I just want to be an entertainer.
Yeah. No, I definitely. I think the comic is like a little bit too narrow sometimes as well.
Yeah,
because you're like entertainer.
I really respect people that they're like, I just want to be a stand-up comic. I respect it.
Yeah, or who just want to do rap, but like entertainer, which also, for the record, sounds like a code for prostitute. Let's just put that out there.
Yeah, which I'm not knocking, so I try it.
It's not that far away. What comics do? We try to get people to separate them for money. I don't know. I feel like comics. Like I've just poured myself out.
Yeah.
I've performed for people that I haven't appreciated or liked, and that's definitely got to be a prostitute.
Yeah. You give them the best of you, and hopefully for a little bit of money in return.
The best years of my life.
Yeah. At times it's degrading almost for us, but
at times is generous. Yeah, it can be definitely degrading sometimes.
Yeah.
I recall the other day I was doing like a joke. I was setting up a punchline, and it was like about one of like this like racist experience that I was having, and someone just like laughed like right away. But the problem was I didn't get to the punchline. They were just laughing about that, and I was like,
they Joaquin Phoenix Jokered you. They laughed in the setup, and then the punchline didn't land because I had that happen in the Halloween roast we did. I had a joke about Ghostface, about how he's the official slasher mascot of the Weinstein Corporation, because one, Weinstein produced the Scream movies, and two, so it was you pressure women into sex. You ultimately get done in by a phone call, and you both gave Rose McGowan head against her will. She was the actor that played Shaggy's sister or girlfriend, the one that got decapitated by the garage door.
Yeah. Shaggy's. Dude, I forgot that he was in that movie.
Yeah, man.
Every single time that I see him in there.
Yeah, he was great. But so the thing is, everybody. Oh, and I think it was largely because I actually stuttered on the second punchline, the one about getting done in by phone call, and everyone just started laughing hysterically at that one. So that then when I hit the original one, it just got O's. There wasn't actual laughs with the O's as well.
And it was just like, oh.
So it was like it was disappointing. I'm like, I mean, don't get me wrong. Obviously, at the end of the day, you guys laughed really hard at that second one. So like, I did my job. Yeah. But I was just like, now that last one just seemed like it was so purely for shock value. I mean, granted, roast. I mean, it's a show largely based on shock value, but still.
Yeah, I have some jokes that are like that. They're like, I'm like, is that funny? Do you think that's funny, or is that just shocking?
Yeah.
And so it's like, I don't know. There's got to be a fine line.
Yeah, but I mean, even though I'll have a couple that again they're largely like they're gross, they're graphic, or they're something like offensive, just something that's more hardcore, basically. And I'll put them in, and then I'll follow it up immediately with the cheesiest, corniest dad joke. Just because, again, like I want people to constantly be doing this through the act. Like you can't just keep doing just like the same old kind of one-liners all the time, or just you can't just do like 5 or 6 big, huge stories after a while. In my opinion, even if you are a comic that can do stories very well, you have to give a little bit of variety here and there to keep the audience engaged, on their toes.
Yeah, you have to have the setup jokes for it. And there are some comics that I know that I can do it super well, where they, are quiet and their delivery is calm, and it's like this. It's like how I was just talking, and people are just eating out of the palms of their hands.
Yeah.
And I feel so rushed to get to the next joke or to the next thing that I'm gonna say sometimes when I'm doing comedy.
Well, the problem is in the early stages, you don't have a lot of time at all.
No.
So, like, if you had a half hour, then yeah, there's certain parts you could really stretch out, set a mood, evoke some kind of feeling just besides, I can't wait to laugh when he says dick next, something like that. But when you only have 5 minutes, you do kind of have to, you do have to have that rushed mindset. That contest we both did up in Port Clinton. I mean, that was the first time I've only ever had like 2 minutes, not even 2 minutes, a minute and a half.
Yeah,
90 seconds.
It was so short, and I've
Full
done
anxiety.
I've done those competitions before, but they're always interesting because the 90 seconds, the first thing that you say has to be hilarious.
Yeah. I mean, and don't get me wrong, it's a great thing to do because, again, like people like me, that I do 20-minute sets once a month, like the shows I tend to try to run. So I've gotten spoiled by having the 15 to 20 minutes.
All that time of practice. Yeah.
Yeah. So like I would drag some stuff out to, fill some time, maybe throw in some details and stuff that I personally think is important.
Yeah.
But then, when you only have the 90 seconds, it's like, all right, we got to trim all of this fat. Like we got to just have bam, 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 bam. But yeah, it was cool. So speaking of, where we actually met, you are on the road a lot though, actually.
Yeah.
I'd say I know you said you're like based in the Toledo area, but I see you put in some time in DC recently.
Yeah.
And hitting stops on your way back. It's good to see. You gotta get, you always gotta test different crowds.
Yeah, for sure. You
gotta know in how many cities in the country you can suck, not just your own.
For sure.
That's how I view it anyway. I'm sure you did great, but
I was
like, what states really hate me?
So I do it because I love the practice. I love going and trying to book myself at as many shows that I can, and then doing the open mics in between those. But then seeing how you're right, how you said before, how different parts of the country react to a joke, and there are crowds that I have had some good interactions with. Jokes have killed, and then others where like I go on up and they didn't like it. And I remember I have this joke about the January 6th riots.
Yeah.
I was in DC, how you were explaining. They did not like that joke. They were like, And I'm like, is it too soon? Like I was poking fun of their resistance to the joke. Yeah. And so I basically like doubled down when they were like, we don't like this. And I was like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah. Yeah. I did kind of a similar thing when I first started. So I started in the middle of 2018 maybe. But right away, I'd already had like a road trip planned with some friends of mine, and we went out to Boston and back, and would hit like Pittsburgh and Philly.
Yeah, I love that idea. Going to Boston.
Yeah, brought some friends, and the best part is still like when I tell people about the first time I took my act, on the road, and they'll be like, "What road coaches were you staying in?" I was like, DoubleTree's Hampton Inns, because one of my friends, he was a night auditor for a DoubleTree by Hilton. Yeah. And so we were staying in the hotels for, like huge discounts. So, I mean, yeah, we were living the life of Riley on the way there. We were getting like free breakfasts in the morning. But yeah, went to Pittsburgh, Philly, and the Pittsburgh, I was really excited because that's my first one. My dad's from the Pittsburgh area, so I have a lot of nostalgia for the city. And I was really excited to do basically a set that was a love letter to Pittsburgh. I wanted to pander the hell out of the place because I just need validation. That's all I needed. So.
And so was it?
Unfortunately, I did not realize that this was a year that the Penguins made it into the Stanley Cup playoffs, and Game 7 was against, I think, like the Washington, whatever the Washington team is, but it was in Pittsburgh, and and the DoubleTree in Pittsburgh is right next to where the Penguins play. Like from the balcony of our room, we could see the line of Penguins fans waiting to get in. And I did not realize the entire city of Pittsburgh had canceled any bands, any open mics, any bar activities that wasn't every screen turned to that game, and they lost. So immediately I'm just like, we're dealing with a riot. Like, we need to get back to the room pronto.
And how was it? Did they riot, or was it just
it was? I mean,
small? Because Pittsburgh riots, or is it?
No, Boston riots.
Boston riots.
Yeah, Boston riots.
I see. Who's the greenish team? We got the slightly green. I'm horrible. I don't know sports.
I barely know either. But no, it was. I mean, it was just everyone was very much. There was that kind of energy about the place, but nobody went too violent with it. And then when we did get to Boston, the crown jewel of the tour, basically, we went to this place, awesome Irish pub vibe. I even think it was called the Green Dragon. I want to say, and yeah, we got a overpriced crab cake, and we were drinking some beer, and then the same time there was the Cavaliers and the Boston Celtics were playing, and this was also some kind of, I think it's the early rounds of the playoffs for the NBA championship. I don't even know what it's even called because I don't follow basketball. But I remember we're in this crowded Boston bar, and one of my friends, Phil, he is a diehard any Ohio sports team. And so the Cavaliers are playing.
So he's an Ohio fan.
He's an Ohio fan, and we are in Boston. And every time they do well, my other friend and I, we had to jump on him and hold his mouth shut.
Yeah.
Because
Boston people are aggressive.
They have knives. They riot. Yeah.
They don't mess around. No, Boston fans. Because they're the Red Sox, the Boston Red Sox for that.
Yeah.
And so, oh my gosh, I've even in when I was I think I was 15 years old, I went to a Boston Red Sox versus the Yankees, which is Boston Red Sox versus the Yankees. That was an aggressive game where fans were yelling at each other. And I mean, I'm a Cubs fan, so I'm from, like I said, from Chicago.
I was going to ask if you're a White Sox or Cubs.
Fuck Mobile Phone Stadium. It's all about the Wrigley Ivy, baby. It's about that Ivy. Yep. No, okay, so Cubs fan all the way, and I didn't watch any sports, and I used to joke. I was like, if the Cubs ever make it to the World Series, I'll watch a game, right? And then the son of a bitches, they did it.
It was 2016
World Series.
Oh fuck, it's been that long.
Oh yeah. Cleveland versus Cleveland.
Yeah, Cleveland, Chicago. Yeah.
Yeah, Cleveland Indians. They were the Indians at the time.
Yeah.
Remember? Yep. And they were going up against Chicago, and then.
And when it comes to baseball, I was a Cleveland fan, but also when Chicago won, I mean, just good for Chicago.
Good for them, right?
Yeah.
And then the celebrations that occurred afterwards, the partying, the absolute mayhem.
Oh yeah.
In the city, my cousin was giving me updates and Snapchats about how many people were just celebrating. Yeah. The entire city was on just lit ablaze because.
Yeah, I love that win or lose, that the end result is we want to set shit on fire. That is the weirdest, the single weirdest
it's a strange
solution to your plans for the night. It's all right, we're gonna be angry, we're gonna set something on fire because we're passionate.
Passionate individuals. Let's set our own streets on fire.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so weird they still carry through with the plan. Maybe it's just because they're like so cheap that it's just like, well, I mean, we already bought the kerosene. We bought a book of matches.
I mean,
we bought the military grade surplus flamethrower.
Oh wow, yeah.
It's like we already bought the stuff, so I mean, we got to use it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's so weird to me. But well, actually, I think we're about running out of time here.
Yeah.
I don't want to drone on for an hour and a half, 2 hours. I'm not that important. So
no, it's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it was great to be on the podcast.
Of course.
I appreciate.
So where can the viewers and listeners follow and support you at?
So I am on, I think, all social media sites now. I am starting up my YouTube series, which I also hope to be interviewing comics as well in the future. So you can follow me on Instagram at Victor1Paredes. I'm on Facebook at Victor Paredes. And I am on TikTok at VRP Comedy, where I don't have anything posted at all yet. So I've just started setting that up. But yeah, being around the Midwest area, I'm planning on trying to visit more cities outside of Ohio. So, but by the time maybe you get this finished and aired on, I will hopefully have been able to perform in Cincinnati, and then just coming up at the end of the year in Chicago as well. But next year, definitely trying to get out of the Midwest, go somewhere warmer. So for sure, if you are in any of the areas that are south of the Midwest, wanting to provide lodging for a destitute comic hoping to pursue his dreams and make it big, I make pancakes. I don't do waffles. I make pancakes. I make damn good pancakes and eggs. But that's my pitch for letting me stay at your house and do comedy. Book me. I do jokes.
Yes. I'll say that's good that you acknowledge that you just do pancakes, because that means you have to like travel with the waffle iron, because you can't just assume that people have waffle iron.
No,
you can't practice. You can't promise waffles if you can't deliver waffles.
No, I can't deliver waffles. I travel with a cast iron that I make pancakes on. 100%. I've got a cast iron.
Cast iron.
Cast iron's delicious.
Yeah,
love using the cast iron.
But anyway, thanks for making the trip out here. Thanks for having a talk with me here. Stay tuned for future episodes as well. I'm not sure when this one will air either. But if it's before January 21st.